Thank you. It's 1984, and I'm 19. I am bothering at the university, but I have a girlfriend. She's making boxer shorts. She's making silk boxer shorts that she's selling at the university. I think it's cool. Then I decided, I go to her and I say, hey, you and me, we are going to launch a company. We are going to make millions of silk boxer shorts. Then we are going to sell all over the planet. She is looking at me like if I was a fool or an idiot. Say, are you crazy? You're not serious. By the way, 10 days after that, she wasn't my girlfriend anymore because I was not serious enough. But I decided to launch the company on my own. I already knew that to be successful, we have to be different. Then the idea was, if I print some well-known characters on the t-shirts, on boxer shorts, I will be different to the other, and I will sell more. Because I'm a very pragmatic person, I went into a bookshop. I purchased the Lucky Luke book, which was a very famous character at this time. Here is the guy. At the back of the book was the name of the editor, Dargaud, and the city Neuilly. I searched in the yellow pages, the phone number, found it, and I called them. Hi, I'm young, I want to launch a company. I want to print Lucky Luke on t-shirts and boxer shorts. And they say, okay, you are lucky. The license is free. Come and visit us. And here I am, 1 week after that, in front of Mr. Garino, I remember the name, at Dargaud. He is explaining to me how it's working. Well, young boy, you are going to pay some royalties. This should be 7% of the revenue. Are you okay with that? Yes, of course, I'm okay with that. Then he told me we are going to sign the contract. Avaloir will be $500,000 of French francs. I asked the guy, what is Avaloir? Literally, that means to be due. And I asked, what is Avaloir? The answer was, Avaloir is what you are going to pay us upfront today. It's the minimum royalty that we will get. If you sell more, you will pay in addition. I was more than disappointed because my pockets were empty. And I told the guy, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. I'm no money. At this time, he looked at me and said, wait for me 5 minutes, please. And he went out of the meeting room. 5 minutes later, the guy was back, telling me, Philippe, you seem to be a trustable person. You don't lie. And then we are going to sign the contract with you with no Avaloir. I take this opportunity to ask for other characters, and I told the guy, can I have also the Dalton on Achille Talon, which were well-known characters at this time? And the guy said, I guess yes, it's available also. Then here I am, out of Dargaud with my super contract, no Avaloir. I decided to call Dupuis, which was another editor, also in Paris. I got my meeting. It was a woman this time. I was sitting in front of her. She was explaining to me that I have to pay 7% of royalties. I was okay with that, of course. And then she told me, Avaloir will be 300,000 French francs. My answer was, I'm sorry, I don't pay Avaloir. Then she looked at me in the eyes and said, sir, if you don't pay Avaloir this business, nobody is going to sign a contract with you. I took the Dargaud contract out of my bag and showed her the Dargaud contract. She was really surprised. She asked me, can I go out for 5 minutes? Yes, do, please do. Then she went out. I think she spoke with her boss. She came back and said, we don't really understand why, but we are going to align with Dargaud, and then you will have no Avaloir to pay. And I said, thank you. And this is how I launched my first company. Nobody has told me it was impossible to sign a contract because it was impossible with the developer. Then I asked for that, and I got it. I did it. This is not from me, it's from Mark Twain. My advice to the young people in this room who want to be some entrepreneur one day, don't wait. Because if you wait, people are going to tell you it's too difficult. It's impossible. And you know what? You are going to believe them. Then if you want to launch a company, do it as soon as possible. Ten years later, well, I was bothering myself again. I had an IT service company, 15 employees. It was running, but not working. And then something new was there. It was called the internet. The first vision we had with my partner was that the internet was going to be the perfect channel for e-commerce. Because it was a network, everybody was claiming those days, that internet was a media, such as TV, press, radio, when we knew it was not a media, but a network. And the beauty of a network is that you can connect with other networks. Then it was possible to connect the internet with the credit card payment systems, with the inventory system. Then it was the perfect tool for e-commerce. And we decided to launch a company to develop e-commerce website for merchants. We start to see investors who told us, are you crazy guys? People are going to buy shoes on a computer one day? This will never happen. People are going to buy food on a computer? People are going to buy anything on the computer? This will not happen. Signed one other contract and came back to us, and we'll see. Then we went to merchants, claiming that they will have revenue on the internet. They did not really believe us. We had an idea. We told them, okay, guys, if you don't trust us, if you don't believe us, we propose a contract to you. We do your e-commerce website for free, and you give us a 5 to 10 year exclusivity on the internet, and we will have some commission. And the first one started to say yes. They thought that it was a good way for them to be on the web for no expenses. And then we signed several of them. On the first website that we put online was a sport goods website. This is the current one, not the old one. It's Gosport. We have made it very seriously. We have invested in a marketing online campaign, which at this time was in fact banners on Yahoo because Google was not existing. And we were ready for orders. On the day of the grand opening, all the company, 25 years, we went in front of the monitoring screens, waiting for the first orders. And then we pushed the button. Nothing's happened. No orders, not only one. What did we do? Did we decide to change the business model of the company? Did we decide to do something else? No, we did not. Why? Because we believe hardly in our vision. And our vision was that one day people will buy on the internet. Then we keep going, we kept going, developing website on website, 96, 97, 98. And then in 98, people start to buy on the internet. And a bit more, and a bit more, and a bit more. And we became leader. And every investment fund wants to invest in our company. And we had investors from the US, from Singapore. The company grew to 1,400 employees in 13 countries in Europe. We took the company public on the French stock market. We took the company public on the German stock market. The value of the company rocketed to $2 billion. I became the youngest CEO of a company, member of the SBF 120 index in Europe at the age of 35. And after that, we sold the company to Verizon. My advice number 2 would be, even if 95% of the people you talk with, even if 99% of the investors tell you that your idea is not a good one, and it's not going to work, it's not going to happen, if you really believe in your project, keep going, keep going. This is me. 2 years ago, I was bothering. I've just sold my previous company. And something was new out there. It's called 3D printing. It is super cool. It's phenomenal. The vision we had was immediately, this is going to be a mailbox. Everybody will one day have a 3D printer in his house to be able to receive small objects which are going to be 3D printed. Again, we went to investors, they start to know us. And we explain, hey guys, we are going to do mailboxes. Mailboxes. But it's taking 3 hours to print, you know, and the quality is not so good. We say, yes, we know that. But one day, you know, that will happen. Then they told us, okay, when you will have sold 10,000 3D printers, come back to us. Then we decided to launch our own crowdfunding campaign that we did on Kickstarter. This is, at this time, it's a long time ago, 2 years ago. They told us, you are a French company. Sorry, guys, we only accept US companies. Okay? We incorporate a company in the US. And 1 week after, we call them back, hey, we're American now. Welcome. Then we have launched this Kickstarter campaign. And well, we have been funded. We continue developing the company. And because 55% of the sales were from the US, we decided to move to the US with our families and the team, and everybody is now in San Francisco. Why have we done that? Well, because nobody has told us that our European people, they just can't go in the US and sell on the US market and they don't know, you know, that it is impossible. Then we don't know that it is impossible. Then we are just doing it. And also because we believe in our vision. This will be my third advice. For us, for the team, for me, it would have been much more easy to stay in France where I am well known. The investors, they know me, you know, after all those companies. To stay in my business, which was more or less the IT services business. And what I am doing in San Francisco, where people, they speak English, working on this new business. Because I am an entrepreneur, they are never better, but when they are out of their comfort zone. Then this will be my third and last advice to you guys. When you will have launched your first company and the second one, don't forget it. Go out of your comfort zone. It will be the place where you will be the best. Here it is, last sentence. Each day of my life, I feed my brain. I really do it. Often in the evening, I'm able to measure what I have learned this day. What I try to do today is to feed your brain, and if I have succeeded a bit, I'm glad of it. Thank you.